I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. Rushing like a bullet into the end zone. Defense, hold up, no scoring in the red zone. Throw it up, pick 6, I feel like I'm Josh Rowe. Throwing dimes over the shoulder, think I'm Jack Winmo. I need me back to back, trying to be like Vulture. Cause a storm, cause I'm mighty, it's in the culture. Esports TV, YouTube, Twitch, SFL live tuning, you don't wanna miss. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. Next level like my entertainment. NXT on the stream, 8 p.m. on the beat. Catch me on the cam like I'm SFL commence. Yeah, you only got one chance, you can never miss. For the glory, revolution, feel my fury. Cause I'm a legend out in Canton, and I'm playing with dragons. I'm the king of this legion. SFL action, tuning this season.
Kickoff! Are you kidding me?
All they're gonna need is
big pop, it's up in the air!
There you go! That's the kickoff that he's gonna win! Is there a goal? Taser power! Touchdown!
I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up.
And welcome to the SFL studios, along with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine, and tonight it's the Portland Fleet and the Seattle Nemesis. Mike, good evening to you. How's your weekend been?
Weekend's been great. Camp has been filled with SFL action, and then what better way, to close out a weekend than with a primetime game on a Sunday after all the great action we've seen thus far this weekend.
We saw some doozies yesterday. We'll get to that at halftime. We also saw some history made earlier tonight, and we hope to break that down for you as well when we hit the break. But before we get there, it's Portland and Seattle, the newest rivalry in the SFL, Mike, out in the Pacific Division. Portland, an expansion team a couple of years ago. Seattle, brand new to the league this year. Both teams are winless coming into tonight's game, but that, Mike, should make for a terrific football game because these two teams have a lot to play for and are very evenly matched.
And Cam, as you mentioned, that history that was made a little bit earlier tonight put a little bit more pressure on this game that we're going to have before us. No one wants to have the dubious distinction of being the only winless team in the league, and definitely no one wants to have the distinction of losing to an expansion team and their first win in their history. That they don't want that history to be on their record. Portland, expansion team themselves, just 5 short seasons ago, these guys went 0-5 before they got their first win. They want to put that on the Seattle Nemesis tonight.
Seattle back at home just for the second time. They had their home opener against D.C., Mike, and almost pulled the upset. They actually played D.C. extremely tight. The Dragons are now 4-1, and Seattle happy to be back at home. Portland does not want to lose this game tonight, Mike. I feel like that would slip them to rock bottom if they were to lose this evening. They are 7.5-point favorites according to Jack's data here on the road. And one of their key weapons, you can see him pictured there on the screen. Rookie quarterback Cyrus Jive has shown some flashes, as has Seattle rookie quarterback Trellis Blanton. And it should be interesting to watch them mature a little bit more this evening.
Yes, Cyrus Jive. He's had a pretty solid start to his career coming in from Ottawa. 82, 0.5 QBR coming into the game tonight. He's been helped out a great deal by veteran wide receiver Gene Valentine. He's kind of coming into his own, having a career season thus far. And they always, they can depend on Ezekiel Love. His stats and numbers are a little bit down this season, but, he could break out at any time. And then, as you mentioned, Trellis Blanton, he has struggled a little bit. This Seattle offense, they're young. They're still trying to grow a little bit. 61% completion rate. That's one of the lowest in the league. But I'm pretty sure that week off has kind of helped these guys, get things together, maybe reevaluate some things, and we'll see how they can improve on that offense this week.
And that's a good point, Mike. Both teams are coming off a bye, and so they've had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. The last time we saw Seattle, it was right here on Next Level Sports. They took on Baltimore, and Mike, it was it got ugly there in the second half. But Jalen Wells gave us a highlight reel play with his I don't even know what you call it. He just kind of merry-go-round the Baltimore defense and got the touchdown. That was actually, I believe, Seattle's first rushing touchdown of the season. And then when you look at their defenses, Mike, that's been the biggest problem. Seattle let up a bunch against Baltimore, but both of these squads just letting everything up over the top. And if they don't stop it tonight, we could be in for a shootout here on national TV.
Yeah, quite possibly that could be the case, Cam. That's one of the things that stood out to me, researching this game. Seattle giving up over 40 points a game, and Portland giving up over 37. So, logic says we're possibly going to be in for an offensive output from both teams. But I still give an advantage to Portland in that area. They're more solid. They're more, more veterans on that offensive side of the ball for them. But both teams are a little weak in the middle at the defensive tackle and at these spots. These guys are young, so that's why they've been letting up so many long passes in the passing game, and as well as getting kind of taken advantage of in the running game in the middle. But this is going to be a battle of someone's old must go, and it should be exciting.
Now, most of the time, as we welcome you back here, apologize for those technical difficulties, but most of the coming up later tonight, Mike, is Queen City and Tulsa, pair of teams at 2-2. That'll be our live look-in coverage coming up here in about half an hour. But it should be an interesting game as Queen City and Tulsa both can go into Week 7 above 500, and I think that a lot of the league, particularly if Queen City were to do it on the road tonight, would look at that and go, wow, they've kind of exceeded expectations here.
Yeah, big matchup for both teams. Tulsa, they can really jumble up things there in the Central after Sioux Falls lost and Minnesota both lost this weekend. They can join them at 3-2 at the top of that division with a win. And Queen City, they can do themselves a huge favor as far as staying in good standing in the playoff race. They would go 3-2 and join a gang of teams that are right there at 3-2 and hunt for the playoffs.
Should be a good one. We'll have analysis of Vancouver, Carolina, Sioux Falls, Canton, which happened earlier today at the half. We all know this suspense is killing you. But coming up after the break, it's Chris Curtis and Charles Doherty on the call. Justin Reside, Zach Holdorf have our stats tonight. Portland and Seattle. It should be an epic clash in the Pacific. And you never know when an instant classic, Mike, is going to pop up. I know it's not the most lovely matchup on the record sheet, but you just never know in the SFL. Mike and I will see you back here at the half. This has been Sim Football pregame. And after this break, we'll send you to Seattle, Darkwood Stadium. Portland and Seattle coming up next.
Next Level Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Late, great Matt Wilson once said, "The O has got to go," and that is indeed the formula for an 0-4 versus an 0-4. One win on the line to get one of these teams into the correct column. It is Portland and Seattle in the Pacific Northwest. Darkwood Stadium is the site for a Week 6 matchup. Chris Curtis, and for the first time since the 2021 convention, I'm in the booth with Charles Doherty alongside me. Charles, going to be a good one, looks like, on paper, between two teams searching for their first win.
Yeah, this could turn out to be a pretty wild game. We've got both, like as you stated at the top, both teams are winless, but the quarterbacks on both sides, and I think Cam and Mike St. Green made this comment in the pregame show, both of the quarterbacks have shown flashes, both offenses have shown flashes. I think the issue we're dealing with here is consistency, and it's a head scratcher because they have stud running backs in Jalen Wells on Seattle and Ezekiel Love on Portland, as well as contract fullbacks and contract offensive linemen. I mean, they have what they need to get the running game going. Hopefully one of these teams will get it going tonight and we'll see some offensive explosion.
There's no doubt there's talent on both sides of the ball on both of these rosters. They're looking to put it together for the first time this season. Portland comes in as the favorites, 7.5-point favorites over Seattle, who's at home and is the home dog, being the expansion team. And Portland does not want to give up the first expansion team win to Seattle. Your kickoff from Seattle in the Pacific Northwest is next. Ready to go. Football on screen. It's going to be Seattle kicking it off to Portland to start this game off. And a welcome to those of you spending your Sunday evenings with us here on Next Level Sports. We welcome you in. The Simulation Football League presented by APM Music is underway. Returner is Leo Morris. He has it at about the 10. He's going to bring it up the middle of the field, and he'll get taken down right about the 29 to the 30. The Portland offense looking pretty decent so far. Rookie Cyrus Jive in the quarterback spot. Israel Adams, Benjamin Warner, Gene Valentine, your wide receiver trio, and then Nelson Lozano Jr., your tight end for this Portland offense. They start out in a weak eye, as we get things going on first down. Hand off immediately. Ezekiel Love going to get wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. They give him one generously, Charles, but Ezekiel Love is the engine that makes this Portland offense go.
Yeah, keep an eye on that side. Catherine Horrell, number 74, and the defensive ends, Parent and Stein, I think are going to be hard to run that outside off-tackle run. They showed on that play they were able to shut it down. Let's see how often they can do that tonight.
Bar formation for Portland on 2nd and 9. Looking to throw a quick drop back, throw to the outside. It's a one-handed grab going away from the football, but it does not net them much. Give them at least a couple. Make it 3rd and 6, and that's Valentine, his first catch.
I'm curious to see how they use Ezekiel Love, the halfback, tonight. He's shown the ability to run as well as receive out of the backfield, so hopefully they mix it up and get him a lot of touches on both sides.
Chance at the weak eye on 3rd down. It'll be a handoff. Love. He's going to go left. He's going to try a spin. He's going to get taken down before the first down marker and make it 4th and 2. Portland, a quick 3 and out. Seattle's faithful in Darkwood Stadium love that. Their team's going to get the football here after the punt.
Yeah, nice tackle by inside linebacker KT Harrell for Seattle. I thought if Ezekiel maybe would have done a little step to the outside, could have got a couple extra yards, but KT Harrell was waiting there and just shut it right down.
Good work from the Seattle defense, forcing the 3 and out, and this ball is up and gone. Decent punt, okay hang time, and it ends up being a fair catch at about the 39-yard line. Here comes the Seattle offense, led by a Trellis Blanton. He's going to be flanked by main halfback Jalen Wells. You've heard that name before. That's a veteran name in this league. Zachary Patton, Dean Jackson, David Gears, and Tita Queen, your quad of wide receivers, along with Pauly Truth, the tight end, in the Seattle purple. Offset eye again. Fullback handoff right through the middle. That is a 2-yard gain as Scott Powell gets his first touch of the game and the first rush of the game for Seattle.
Love it when they get the fullback engaged. Got to keep the defense on their toes. And Scott Powell, I don't think he gets a ton of touches, but he's shown an ability when he does to get some positive gains.
2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Single back for the Nemesis. 4-2 look from Portland. That's going to be through the middle again, and that gets them 2 more yards. But it's not much more than that. And good stand by the defense in the rushing spot so far, and it's a 3rd and medium.
You can take the comments I made about Ezekiel Love and apply it to Jalen Wells on Seattle. I mean, he can run it as well as receive it. And, on 3rd down, you got to keep an eye on him because he can catch that swing pass and burn you.
Single back again. Chance for Blanton. He's going to throw it over the top, and that's not going to go. As that is going to be hit to the ground. 4th down, a couple of 3-and-outs to start this game, 1 for each offense. And it'll be time for a Seattle punt.
Yeah, it's been a battle of the defense so far. And an interesting point, I haven't seen any power formations. It looks like both teams have been running 3 wide.
Chance for Lilac Butte to get into the game. Leo Morris back deep for the return. See if Morris can maybe break one here. Does have the ability, the cornerback out of Portland. Return from about the 27, and he's taken down pretty much immediately at about the 33 as soon as he got a foot in. So Portland, second drive already, a couple of possessions under our belt. 1 from each side. Nothing doing offensively really for either roster as of yet, but stay tuned.
It looks like they're both just doing some light jabs here, waiting for the sucker punch.
See how far they get with it. Single back, single left. Looks like a handoff to Love. He's going to try to get the outside, but the penetration for the defensive line too good. They're going to get themselves in the backfield and take down the ball carrier at 2nd down and long.
There are a ton of Harrells on the defense of Seattle. This time, David Harrell, outside linebacker, led the charge and brought Ezekiel Love down in the backfield.
Love is the deep back in the offset. 3 wide as well. Play action. Chance for Jive. He's going to air it out over the middle. That one's caught. And Portland is going to be on the board first to the house. That is a touchdown for the Fleet. They get a long bomb and a quick strike to get up 6.
Yeah, I believe that was to Israel Adams, and they ran a play action. I think that was just enough to freeze the safeties and give Israel Adams that extra step for the deep bomb and took it to the house. What a great way to start opening up this game.
And a dot thrown by Cyrus Jive as well. You can't forget that. Israel Adams gets over the top to give Portland the lead. And a 1 big strike touchdown for Portland as they get themselves up a score as they bring on for the extra point.
And you got to give credit to the offensive line as well. I mean, play action in the SFL takes a long time to develop, and Cyrus Jive had plenty of time.
He did. That play action is what caused a lot of that. He had a deep drop back on that play action. Extra point is up, and it is through with no issues there. So Portland will kick it back to Seattle here as they get up a score. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Back deep, Zach Patton for the return. He's going to have it. He'll get it towards the 20 to the 30, and he'll get close to the 30, not quite there, to the 27 is where he's hit and dropped. So Seattle comes out to try to answer the long touchdown with maybe one of their own. We'll see. Trellis Blanton can air it out. He's done it before, and he's got some wide receiving targets on the field. So this should be a good something to watch as far as their counter to the long bomb. Offset eye. Immediately, that's a handoff. That is Jalen Wells. He'll get himself 3 yards, make it 2nd and 7. And Seattle opts to go with the run on 1st down.
Yeah, they're opts to go with the run, and both teams are sticking with that 3 wide set. So trying to spread out the defenses and find that run off tackle and get a gain right there. They got 3 good blocks set on the side by look like Sean Sullivan, and they're moving.
Doesn't look like these guys are going to try a lot of heavy sets. Talking about these two teams, they're looking to air it out. They're looking to air it out a bunch as far as the formations are concerned. That is a loss of a yard, as Wells does not get back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 8 coming up. Last thing the Nemesis can afford is another 3 and out. So this becomes a pretty big 3rd down.
Yeah, defensive tackle number 95, McSlim, just shut that down. They have to have an answer for him. He can't have that such an easy way getting through that line.
Rookie defensive tackle Jabu McSlim on that. Trellis Blanton goes back, throwing for the sideline. He is going to be out of bounds. That's not what they wanted. As Zachary Patton can't keep the feet in, and it'll be 4th down. Seattle will punt.
Not only was he not in bounds, but it wasn't enough route to get the 1st down. So a questionable play on that one. But it didn't look like they were getting a lot of pressure on Trellis Blanton, but he got rid of the ball very early on that play.
His thought processes are going a little bit too fast in his head, thinking he's got more pressure than is coming.
It's the prime time game, and maybe got him a little nervous.
A little jitter. That's fine. That's fine. Returnable for Leo Morris. Out to the 33 to the 35 is what they'll give him. He's wrapped up there with no issue. So Portland gets the ball back after getting the long strike to Israel Adams just a little while ago. They have a chance to go up 2 scores here on the road. They come in as favorites, 7.5-point favorites over the Nemesis, and they're playing with a bit of a chip on their shoulder as well. They don't want to be the one to give up Seattle's first franchise win. Single back. Jive to the outside. Caught, trying to turn the corner, and he'll get himself, looks like 5. Nope, they'll say 7. So 2nd and 3 coming up here as Valentine gets involved.
Yeah, nice out route by Gene Valentine. It looked like all the wide receivers were going deep, and a couple of them, including Valentine, stopped short. Valentine went to the sideline, and I believe it was Warner did the hook route and gave both of them at least a 5-yard cushion to get that play off, get that route finished, and a good gain of 7.
A good way to confuse the defensive backs, make sure that they try to make sure they have everybody covered, but when you're running routes like that, it makes it difficult. Jive over the top again. This one's caught. That's going to get him out to about the 35-yard line into Seattle territory. That is exactly what they wanted. Tight end Nelson Lozano Jr. brings it down.
He's a big target at 6'6", and a very nice pass, veteran pass by Cyrus Jive to Lozano.
From the Cyrus Jive with the veteran numbers. He has full QBR right now, 158 and a third with the rookie next to his name. And that is going to be a 2-yard run, maybe a yard actually, as linebacker comes up and makes the play. That's Horrell. And it will be a 2nd and 8.
A full playbook available here. And Cyrus Jive so far, I know it's early, has been very, very impressive.
Looking at a strong power eye here. And a free play. Got to take advantage of this. Put it to the outside. And nothing doing. Ezekiel Love gets dropped in the backfield on the screen. And is going to not matter much as he'll be able to get some yards tacked on after the penalty.
It's curious to see, Curtis, if a veteran quarterback was behind center and saw the guy jump, if he would have tried to throw it a little bit deeper.
Yeah, you got to take a shot there, you would think.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking, too. Horrell, the guilty party on the neutral zone infraction. And that will be a new first down. Or a new 2nd down should be. 2nd and 3 at the moment for Portland. Jive, looks, throws, left side caught. Got a little bit of room to run, but 2 Nemesis players get after him. It is a first down. So move the chains once more as they're just outside the red zone. Benjamin Warner's first catch.
A nice route running by Benjamin Warner and the entire Portland offense here in this series. The out routes are just, they're running to perfection.
Offset eye in the heavy set. Handoff. Love going to try to kick it to the outside. Spins past 1, not 2. He'll get a couple of yards, make it a 2nd and They're going to give him 4, so make it 2nd and 6.
Yeah, a rare sighting of the power formation there, Curtis. Didn't get a huge gain there, but I think it's smart throwing it in there to keep the defense guessing.
First time we've really seen that heavy set in this game so far. We see it again here. Maybe this is their red zone approach. That's to the outside. Love breaks a tackle. He's going to get the first down. 1st and goal for Portland. They're moving the ball pretty efficiently in this last 20 yards.
Yeah, that run right there shows everyone Ezekiel Love's skill set. He's quick on the edge, and it takes more than one person to bring him down.
I think you can call him slippery. I think is the best word you can use for him. And it's accurate based on how many tackles he can break after first contact. He doesn't need to spin past you. He can run right past you at that point. Hand off again. They'll give it to him on the outside. Going to try to get there. End zone touchdown, Portland. That is perfectly done by the blocking in Portland's offensive line game. Wide receivers doing work as well. Ezekiel Love's the beneficiary. He's got a touchdown for Portland here.
Yeah, you nailed it right on the head, Curtis. Perfect blocking up front by the offensive line. Great play calling by the offensive coordinator of Portland, mixing it up, combination of power runs and runs out of the spread. And I think Seattle was scratching their head trying to figure out what was going to get thrown at them next.
Seems to me like Seattle at the moment does not have an answer to the outside running ability of Ezekiel Love. And if you're Portland, you continue to do that until they prove they can stop it. And that is up and through on the extra point. So a 14-0 game. Seattle down but not out. They need something to work in the offensive game plan here shortly. A couple of 3-and-outs to start things out in this first quarter. Not how they want it to go. As Portland will give them the ball back here in just short order.
Yeah, they're in, I wouldn't say a very deep hole, but a hole nonetheless they're going to need to fight their way out of.
Kick is up and gone. This will be returnable. Zachary Patton from his own about 7-yard line. Gets it to about the 28-yard line and just short of the 30. And out comes Trellis Blanton and company one more time. It has not been a blazing offensive start for Trellis Blanton. He is 0 for 2. Does not have a completion in this game so far. Jalen Wells only has 4 attempts. Scott Powell, the fullback, has 2 attempts himself for a grand total of 4 yards between the two. Grand total of 6 yards between the two of them on 4 attempts. Apologies. And this is where we maybe will see Blanton air it out a little bit. This is to the outside. First completion of the game for Blanton. Gets them an out to the flats, and it'll be 2nd and 5.
They lined up with Power at the bottom of the screen with the 2 tight ends and did a short out route on the top of the screen, and it looked like it caught the defense of Portland off guard a little bit. It was a smart run play on first down. Needed there.
Zachary Patton gets on the board with his first catch. Weak eye for Seattle on 2nd and 5. Blanton, left side. That one's tipped and might have been caught on a diving attempt. But not quite. A little bit too far ahead of Zachary Patton on that. On the bounce. Portland nearly picked that off, though.
Yeah, I think if Trellis Blanton would have put a little more loft on that, I think you've been looking at a touchdown, my friend.
That's what you want, is you want one-on-ones with your number 1 wide receiver against a corner on the outside. And it looks like Portland got the better of it there. In the gun is Blanton. Looking to throw it. Plenty of time over the middle. That one's caught. Good eye over the middle of the field. That's the way to do it, is take advantage of that seam in the middle of the cover defense. That's a 1st down and 10.
Yeah, that seam was as big as the Pacific Ocean. I mean, they had great blocking up front, and it looked like the entire Portland secondary was 20 yards deep.
That's the number 2 wideout on Seattle, David Gears. He has a post route over the middle that has the chains moving. 1st and 10 for the Nemesis as they have it inside Portland territory for the first time tonight. Single back again for Seattle. Good snap count looks like from the defensive line, but they do not get home. That's a catch and an 8-yard completion. One more time, Gears' 2nd catch and as many targets, and they have a 2nd and short.
A great way, Trellis Blanton, the quarterback for Seattle, just stood in that pocket. It was breaking down, got rid of it the very last second, put the ball in the right place for wide receiver Gears to catch it and make a positive gain.
Heavy set on offense. That is to the outside. Good run for Jalen Wells. He's going to have the first down as they get themselves a new set towards the 36-yard line. I believe that's what they give him. It's 1st and 10.
Yeah, a couple good plays like that run by, run by Seattle, and we can get some momentum on the board for Seattle, maybe get some points going.
Offset eye once more. Looking like a strong eye for Seattle. Portland nearly got home. That's over the middle. Nearly intercepted as well. They hit 2 Portland Fleet defenders on the way to the ground. It will fall. Robert Brower had a hand on it as well, but it's harmless. It's 2nd and 10.
The Trellis Blanton got nailed at the kneecaps and got rid of that ball, and I think it impacted the trajectory of the throw, and that just ended poorly.
That defender doing his best Dan Campbell impression. And it is 2nd and 10. Heavy set eye. Uh-oh, problems coming, and Blanton is dropped. Defensive line gets home, and he is body slammed. It's Tim Fannin, the outside linebacker.
Yeah, it looked like that was a delayed blitz. Fannin was taking a survey of what the offense was giving him and just saw a gap right up the middle, went right into the quarterback's face and disrupted that play.
Cover that, man. 1, 2, 3, your winner, Tim Fannin. It's the 3rd in a while. At this point, you can barely see the first down marker. They are in the gun 5 wide. Looks to throw. Left side. That is tipped and incomplete. Nothing doing. And that is going to create a 4th down scenario where it's going to be a short field punt for Seattle.
And I think the wide receiver for Seattle, Zachary Patton, on that route looked like he did a go route on the outside, and he had a step. Again, got to put some that wasn't a go route, but need to put some nuance there on that throw.
Yeah. A little bit of loft, sir. That'd be nice. First quarter is officially in the books. It's a 14-0 score for Portland. You're watching the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports, presented by APM Music. We'll be right back to Seattle. Back inside Darkwood Stadium in Seattle, Washington. It's Chris Curtis and Charles Doherty with the SFL's Week 6 matchup. It's Portland and Seattle. Guys just joining us. It's been a pretty good game so far. Seattle punching it away. The 2 touchdowns that are on the board, one for Ezekiel Love on the ground, and then one for Israel Adams for Portland, as this punt's going to get taken in at about the 3-yard line. So good job by Seattle special teams unit to hold back Portland as they start with a short field, or the very long field in front of them, but a short behind them on offense.
Yeah, so far this game, quarterback Cyrus Jive for Portland is on fire. I want to see if he can keep that going. Perfect game so far, 5 for 5.
Yeah, from the 5-yard line is where they start this drive out. So he'll have 95 yards to go if he wants to make something of this drive. Work is cut out for him. Both the fullback and the running back lined up in the end zone currently. Handoff. Ezekiel Love. Plenty of room to run. He'll get themselves out of the shadow of their own end zone as he gets close to the 10. They'll give him the 9. It is 2nd and 6.
I don't know if Love lowered his shoulder to try and hit the defender or if he just dove to try and hurt somebody. I don't know what was going on there, but that was an angry run.
Yeah, untied shoelace, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Near formation for Portland. Looks like a quick, heavy set, but it will be a throw. Jive to the outside. That is caught, but then tackled in midair is Gene Valentine, as the linebacker didn't even let him get to the ground with the football. And he is going to be dropped with not much gain on that.
Yeah, Cyrus Jive put that around the 50-50 area where you throw that 10 times, it could go 5 to 1, 5 to the other, and Gene Valentine just jumped up there early and fought for it.
Tight end to the left. Wide receiver over there as well in the heavy set. 3rd and 2. Throw to the outside. That one's caught. Has to come back for it, but then is able to move upfield. And that's 1st down and 10 yardage for Portland as they move it up the turf. It's Gene Valentine with another grab.
Yeah, Gene Valentine again, and it looked like Cyrus Jive was skipping a rock across the pond on that one. That throw was, I don't know what to call it, sidearm, whatever, but it was a great throw right into the basket of Gene Valentine.
Those quarterbacks that can do that sidearm angle, they can really get around defensive line rushes with that kind of throw. That's a nifty tool to have in your arsenal. Offset eye again. This will be a handoff through the middle, and Ezekiel Love tries it between the tackles this time. He'll get a yard. No further than that as Horrell comes up with a stop.
Yeah, I think at this point, Seattle has to look at maybe adding some extra pass rushers in there to try and do something to disrupt Jive. Right, he has all the time back there in the backfield and needs to get a little nervous.
Problem with that is the moment you commit more resources to Jive, then Ezekiel Love can burn you just like that. Jive gets a 1st down to the outside. That one's the tight end Lozano Jr., his 2nd catch.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do something. Either bump him at the line, disrupt the routes, or put pressure on the quarterback. Because right now, Cyrus Jive is just cutting it up.
Yeah, tight end out there, and that's a perfectly thrown ball from Cyrus Jive. I think, pretty sure he has yet to miss in this football game.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
Yeah, he has 8 for 8 to start things out. He's already got a $135 through the air. And he's got them all laying out here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Thrown. That is caught. Another one he found the seam on. 1st and 10. And another one for Gene Valentine. He's 5 for 5 on targets.
Yeah, they have to do something. The Seattle defense has to do something to disrupt this drive. I mean, Portland is having their way. Everything they do, they're clicking on all, on all fronts, and something has to be done to stop this momentum.
And very organized-looking fleet offense as it sits right now. Love to the outside, spins, 2 spins, doesn't get very far on that. They'll give him 2 yards, but not much more than that. 2nd and 8.
Yeah, we've been calling Gene Valentine all night. Now let's give some love to Daniel Valentine, the cornerback on the other side. He showed a lot of strong pursuit there, grabbed onto the running back, and just enough time for his friends to come in and help bring him down.
Weak eye, heavy set. 1 out wide for Portland. This will be a run. Love to the outside. Spins back inside. Man, I think that was an error in decision-making from Love. If he keeps us to the outside, he's probably still running.
I agree, but still got a pretty positive gain there. 3rd manageable, but like you said, if we would have bounced to the outside, we would have been looking at maybe first and goal.
It's possible, yeah. They'll go strong high here. Think they give it to Love in the short yardage situation again?
Of course, why not?
They don't through the ground. They'll give it to him in the air. He will get the first down towards the sideline, and that's about as good as it gets for the flat passes. 1st and 10.
I get half credit because they threw.
Hey, 50% is better than no percent, right? I like it. D's get degrees, right? No, never mind. We'll forget that. Forget that.
Wow, thank you for that. Make me feel good.
Single back again. Cyrus Jive. He's working this this drive right now. Hand off to Love. And this time Ezekiel Love gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Now would be a beautiful time for Seattle to stand up defensively.
Yeah, the rookie outside linebacker Citrion just showed some incredible speed. 268 pounds, 6'1". That's a lot of beef on the field, and he was showing some incredible speed that I didn't really think he had in him.
And some moving around a little bit here. They'll give it to Love again, but the run blitz is going to be too powerful. Gets him in the backfield again. 3rd and long coming up here for Portland, and this drive is threatening to stall out.
That tackle by Aaron Stein and crew is, I think, could be one of those plays that ignites the defense to take over here and start dictating the terms on the field.
In the gun, Jive, plenty of time, throwing a diving attempt, and that is going to be well, no, are they going to give him a completion there? I think he actually caught it on the deflection. It's not enough for the first, but if that's the case, what a play.
Yeah, what a play. I mean, hats off on the I don't know who caught that one. That was a great catch, but the Seattle defense did what they needed to do and stop Portland on that drive. And they're not playing as perfectly as they were, in Seattle's defense has a lot to say about that.
And that will be a punt, end over end. It'll bounce at the 2, and wow, into the end zone is where that ends up. So we will be back for Seattle's next possession as they try to get themselves back into it. It is 14-0 Portland, but a lot of football left in Seattle. Stay there. Back inside Darkwood Stadium, 1st and 10 for Seattle from their own 20-yard line as they start this drive off. A run for Jalen Wells goes absolutely nowhere as they get stopped at the line of scrimmage as the linebacking core for Portland continues to make plays in the rush defense.
Yeah, the defense of Seattle did what they needed to do, handing the ball off to the offense now to see if they can get some some points on the board. I mean, they're only down by 14, but they're going to need to start putting some points on here before the end of the half.
They got to find something. They got to find it, not quite right now, but they got to find it soon. They don't want to give it up to their defense too long here for Portland to really get on a roll. 3rd and 7 after a 3-yard gain for Wells, as they have 3rd and medium in the playbook. Lots of plays at this range, but it's a matter of picking the right one. Blanton's in the gun. They're going to air it out 5 wide. Looking to throw it. Plenty of time. Throws over the middle. That one's caught. Good looking seam throw. Gets them a 1st down and 10. It's David Gears' 3rd catch of the ball game.
Yeah, David Gears caught the ball on a laser pass from Trellis Blanton. And Trellis Blanton was looking into the eyes of defensive ends Brower and Nuevo and one of the defensive tackles. They were looking to put a hurt on him. Got rid of the ball just at the last minute.
A little history lesson on David Gears. Was the number 4 wideout with Vancouver a season ago. Comes to Seattle and is now the number 2. They have found something in David Gears, and they're trying to make it work with the rest of this very good-looking offense. To the outside, Wells has it in the flats, and that is going to be a 1-yard gain, 2nd and 9.
And the that young defensive line for Portland is fast.
Yeah, it is.
They're getting very close to Trellis Blanton, and I think if they keep doing this, if the offensive line of Seattle allows them to get that close, they're going to bring him down here soon.
3 to the left, 1 to the right. That is Jalen Wells in the backfield. They'll run it to him, and not much happening there. They will lose a yard, and it is 2nd and 11.
They got to watch that line. They're going to bring the heat. You got to, keep a fullback in, have the halfback block, whatever. But you got to give Trellis Blanton time to go through his progressions.
Apologies, 3rd and 11 here. So this becomes a pretty big 3rd down, and they're going to put him in the gun again. Found a long one over the middle earlier on a 3rd down. They need it here. Moves away in the pocket. On the run. Tipped and incomplete. That's going to find turf. David Gears, your intended target. It's not going to happen. It'll be a Seattle punt.
Yeah, it started at the line. The defensive line of Portland just disrupted the play. You saw the quarterback have to throw on the run. I don't think that's one of his best skill sets, throwing on the run. Not many quarterbacks in this league can do that, and didn't throw the most accurate pass.
So 4th down on the other side of this, and Portland's going to get the ball back, trying to make it a 21-point game potentially. They nearly got home on that punt block as well. Returnable from Leo Morris, catches it at the 35, gets to the 39, so a 4-yard return. So out comes Cyrus Jive once more. He's been a man on a mission the entirety of this game. He is perfect through 11 throws. He's got 11 completions for $162 and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, let's hope the announcer's curse doesn't hit him. But he's on fire here. He's got plenty of time to put more points on. Just don't push it.
2 to the left, 1 to the right. 4 on the line defensively. This will be a throw. Trying to keep the perfect streak alive, and he does. And he's going to go to the left here, an 8-yard completion. Gets a 2nd and 2. Gene Valentine for his 6th catch of the game.
Yeah, Gene Valentine is just killing it on those short routes. He's catching everything thrown to him, running the routes crisp, and really causing some problems for that defense of Seattle.
All of the receivers in contract positions and the tight end, Nelson Lozano Jr., have catches in this football game so far. So not only has he been successful, but he's been spreading the ball around. Now they go heavy set. Put it in the hands of Ezekiel Love potentially on a run play and let the blocking go to work. That's exactly what happens. To the outside, not. Oh, he does escape for a moment, but he's going to get taken down behind the line of scrimmage. And that gets us to the 2-minute warning. So a 14-0 score with 120 until halftime. We'll be back in just a moment to Seattle. It's the SFL on Next Level Sports, presented by APM Music.
Back here at SFL Studios, Mike St. Green and I are monitoring this from Tulsa and Queen City.
Yeah, Cam, as you see JQ drop back right here, and he finds Gabriel Manning, who's quietly having a pretty good season, Cam, and then he gets to the 5-yard line, high steps it into the end zone and put Tulsa up early 7-0 in the first.
With some style. Back to Chris Curtis and Charles Doherty for the conclusion of your first half. Mike and I will see you back here at halftime.
Indeed, 2 minutes left in this first half of play. Good one going on over in Tulsa as they get things going. Queen City and Tulsa 7-0 Desperados early on. And Portland in a third down scenario here, trying to get the first. Ezekiel Love breaks through one, but he's not going to break through enough to get the first down. And it'll be Portland punting away and giving Seattle a chance at points before the end of the half.
It looks like Seattle is, taking their defense up a notch here since that last series and really stopped Portland in their tracks.
That other game over on the SFL's Twitch channel. If you want to pop over there, simulationfl.net, or I'm sorry, twitch.tv/simulationfl is where you're going to find that one. And it'll be a Portland punt that gets Seattle potentially set up with decent field position depending on how this goes. But Portland going to let that clock tick away a little bit before they kick it away and give Seattle back that football. This will be returnable from about the 30. And nothing much more than that happening as Zachary Patton will get it out to about the 33-yard line. Seattle, Charles, needs points at this point before the half, I think, to really put themselves back into contention with this game.
Yeah, I agree, and it's basically who on that Seattle offense is going to step up and ride the Charger into the promised land. I mean, we're waiting for someone. There's a couple people on the defensive side for Seattle that have really been balling out. We're just waiting for that on the offense side.
I formation looks like for Seattle, and it'll be Blanton that's calling audibles to the line, it looks like. See something in that defense. He'll throw. Throws over the top. That one's a first down and more. They start working the no huddle. The 47-yard line. Just shy of Portland positioning on the field. Thrown to the outside. He can get out of bounds if they'll let him. He's going to get way out of bounds, or after you're getting all the way downfield, 1st and 10, as he gets well within Portland territory. Good work from Jalen Wells.
I hate to be a downer, but it looked like he stepped out of bounds before he hit that first down marker. But, what do I know? I'm far up here in the booth.
Looks like the R62 saw the same thing in the booth, challenging the step out of bounds and see if that is indeed the case. Hard to tell with the dark shoes against the dark turf. We'll see it likely here. And yes, he did. He 100% did just after the line of scrimmage, and that's going to come back for sure.
Yeah, well, good. I'll sigh a relief here because I thought I was the only one that saw that.
All right, so 2nd down and still long for Seattle. The clock does stop as he does get out of bounds at the very least, so they have some time to work with here and all 3 timeouts.
And they have plenty of time, Curtis. I mean, I don't think they need to roll the dice too much. A couple, mid gains, and at least they're in field goal position.
They'll work the single right positioning or formation here. 2 to the right, 1 to the left as far as wideouts. Looking to throw it to the outside. That's a caught ball, not quite a first down. It'll be 3rd and short coming up. Coming up in the APM halftime report. Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green will break down the first half between the Fleet and the Nemesis, recap the best of Saturday's action, review Sunday's early games, and update you on action going on in Oklahoma between Queen City and Tulsa. It's all coming up on the APM Music halftime report in just a couple of minutes' time. Under center is Blanton. He's got an I formation to work with. He will hand it off. Jalen Wells outside, 1st down and more, and he is inside of long field goal range as he gets to the 35. It's 1st and 10.
Yeah, and I think they're just on the within the range of Christian Ronald Suey, the kicker for Seattle. Mm-hmm. His longest of the season was 42 yards. I think they're right at the 42-yard mark.
Got some work to do. I think they like to make it a little more comfortable if they can. 1st and 10. See what they can do in an offset eye. 3 wide. They like that 3 wide set.
Definitely, yeah.
This will be a chance. Blanton to the outside. That's an out route. And that is a moving clock. I believe they are going to stop the clock. He does get out of bounds at the very least. 3-yard gain. And that is going to be Tita Queen's first catch.
I think Leo Morris, the cornerback for Portland, gave a little assist on that one, too. Hit him pretty hard and knocked him all the way up out of bounds.
It's Tita Queen. She was one of the phenoms in the SFLM this last season for the minor leagues. Glad to see her in a decent spot. This will be a sidearm throw. Caught over the middle into the red zone. They'll run a no huddle. I wouldn't be surprised if they clock this ball. See if that's what they do or if they actually play something here. In the gun, they'll play. Looks to throw. Left side. Incomplete. That probably should have been picked. It'll hit the ground, and it's incomplete. The clock will stop.
Yeah, I would have called a timeout and got a new play in there.
New formation, new something. Clocking the ball would have been something as well that could have happened. It'll be a 2nd and 10. Take a look there at Zachary Patton. He's ready. He's looking amped, trying to get this ball in the end zone for his team. Blanton's under center. Tight end to the right. Looks to throw it. 5-step drop. Left side. Tipped and incomplete. A couple of tip balls by this Portland defense today. David Gears, the intended target.
Yeah, the wide receivers look like they both did crossing routes and to maybe mess up the cornerbacks for Portland, but they showed their discipline, were able to disrupt that pass and keep them out of the end zone.
See, I beg to differ on that a little bit. I think if you let those routes develop a little bit, he had the time. I think if you let those routes develop a little bit and let that corner route happen, I think he's open in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I just didn't see what was happening on the line there. See how much time the quarterback had.
Fair enough. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Blanton, 3rd down. Trying to get something out of this drive. Tipped again. This one is incomplete. And they will indeed have to try for the 3 points. Bring out the kicker, trying to get them on the board.
Yeah, way for the Portland defense to dig their heels in when they needed to, because it looked like Seattle was starting to get revved up and looking to go in the end zone. But as they got into that red zone area, they just clamped it down and kept them out.
33-yard attempt for Ronald Suey. Christian Ronald Suey from the right hash, trying to get Seattle on the board and get them to within 11 points. Snap good, hold good. Kick is up and on the way. It is up, and it is through from 33. So that is going to get the Nemesis on the board. Those are important points to get. Keep in mind, they get the ball coming out of the halftime break, so at least that's something. And say they get a touchdown to the start of the second half, we got ourselves a new ball game.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, they had to walk away with something. We said that a couple times, and they did what they needed to do. And this is making for an interesting second half.
And all the building blocks are there. We've seen some crazy comebacks this season on multiple teams in multiple situations. As many as 30 points that Indianapolis came back on Canton just a couple of weeks ago. This is going to be to the outside on the return. Nothing doing past that to the 23 for Leo Morris. So not much time for Portland here. Probably just a run or two with Ezekiel Love, I would assume, and then we head to the break.
Yep, I would as well, but you never know in this game.
You never know. That's fair.
Crazy things happen.
They'll put Valentine on the outside. They'll run a far formation with a heavy set. It will be a Love run. He's going to get to the outside. Tried to work on the off-tackle positioning, but that's not going to go. And that is going to close things out. Halftime in Seattle. It's the Pacific Northwest, 14-3 Portland after 2 quarters. We'll send it over to the SFL studios in just a minute. But first, Charles, you'll send it to the halftime studios after a break. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports.
Welcome to the APM Music Halftime Report along with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine. It is halftime, 14-3. The Portland Fleet lead the Seattle Nemesis, and it could have been worse for Seattle. It's been kind of a rough half, and I think specifically, Mike, it's been a rough half of trying to get Zachary Patton involved in the football. They are trying to get him involved. That's not the problem. It's just that they're not able to connect with him much at all.
Well, they've been trying to get Zachary Patton involved all season long, Cam. He has over 40 targets on the season, and they of course they're trying to target him again tonight. But his completion rate it's low. There's no doubt about it. David Gears, obviously, on the other hand, he's definitely been a target for these guys. He's averaging over 20 yards a catch, and we've seen him make some big catches in this game to keep a couple of drives alive for Seattle.
Yeah, David Gears is the MVP of this offense. Right now, Trellis Blanton, 10 of 19 for 89 yards, and David Gears got 4 of those catches for 56 of those 89 yards. On the flip side, Mike, Portland, Cyrus Jobs doing a pretty good job hitting some targets deep. Ezekiel Love is struggling, 30 yards on 16 carries in that first half. Seattle's run defense has played better than expected, and that's what's kept them in this ballgame.
Yeah, we thought the way this thing started out, we thought we were going to see a little bit more than what we saw offensively, in particular from Ezekiel Love. He was able to get to the outside a couple of times, did make a nice touchdown run, and they've done a good job of going over the top, as you mentioned. They did find Israel Adams on a big play over the top, but you have to give Seattle some credit. They've done a good job of kind of adjusting in that second quarter. Didn't allow any points from Portland, and get a late field goal right before half, and they find themselves kind of in the ball game right now.
It should be a good second half, just like Chris Curtis and Charles Doherty said. Seattle does get the ball to start the second half, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can kind of take a 2-for-1 after the field goal they got at the end of the second quarter. Earlier tonight, Mike St. Green, a couple of final scores. Vancouver beat Carolina 24-20. They held on. Carolina had a chance, threw it up for grabs in the end zone, and Major Key, who got an interception on the first drive, got the deflection that Vancouver needed on fourth down to get the stop. And the Legion escaped, Mike. They get to 4-2 going into their bye week. They were that close to 3-3 and opening up the Pacific for the rest of this division.
Yeah, escaped is a good word to use for that game, Cam. Usually it's the tough luck Skyhawks. I guess you could kind of call this game tough luck for them, being that they lost away, in a close ball game. But it wasn't one of those tough luck losses where it seemed like they shot themselves in the foot. They really played well going over there to Vancouver, gave these guys all they can handle. They just came up short in the end.
Yeah, it kind of just felt like they ran out of time, Mike. They weren't playing bad football at any point, really, in the day, outside of maybe those first 2 possessions where Matt South had the interceptions, but he calmed down. Carolina just couldn't pull it together, so the Skyhawks fall to 2-3. Vancouver is now 3-2. And a round of slow claps, everybody, for the Canton Classics. They did it, and they did it in a big way, Mike. A huge upset, 23-7 over the Sioux Falls Sparrows. Canton was double-digit dogs in that game, and Sioux Falls' only touchdown was from Eddie Gage on a pick six. Juke and Rukin Jr. on a pick 6, and Sioux Falls' offense did nothing, nada against the Canton defense that had been really struggling. And what do you know? The Canton Classics, they're out of the cellar and hoping for either Portland or Seattle to join them.
You can really tell from this performance today, Cam, that the Classics, they really did a fantastic job in their off week of probably looking at what they had been doing the first few weeks of the season. The offense wasn't throwing the ball around as much. They kind of got them in trouble with turnovers and, guys able to come back on them and things of that sort. They kind of pounded Robert Johnson in this game quite a bit. And the defense, they were excellent. Obviously these guys have a team full of veterans on that defense, and they did something in the lab over the past couple of weeks to say, hey man, we have to make some adjustments to how these guys play, get used to one another, and put some things together that could possibly work. And they did a great job of shutting down Sioux Falls all game long.
Yeah, that defensive line was cooking. They had 3 sacks on Julian Tyree early in the game. I think they finished with 5. They really applied the pressure on him and shut down Marcus Duncan, too. He had averaged 1 yard a carry and made Sioux Falls one-dimensional and Canton comes away with that win. They improved to 1-4. And now the Central, Mike, gets a little bit interesting with Minnesota and Sioux Falls losing. Those two teams are now, Sioux Falls is down to 3-3, I believe, Mike, and
3-2, I think.
I think they have a bye next week. I think they're
okay.
off next week.
Okay.
So with their loss to London, they've now fallen to 3-3. Minnesota is 3-2, and then you got Tulsa playing right now in our live look-in block with Queen City. They're up 7-3, but if they could get the win, they would be 3-2. And the Central Division is getting very interesting all of a sudden.
Yeah, definitely getting very interesting, but look out for the Minnesota Legend. Yeah, they did lose yesterday, but these guys have 5 of their last 7 games at home, and these guys, they've been playing excellent defense all season long. They gave up 24 yesterday, but a lot of that was on the first couple of plays of the game, and then they just couldn't get anything going scoring-wise offensively. I mean, but these guys were moving the ball up and down the field, had a couple of, very bad red zone turnovers. But other than that, they could have easily given London their first loss of the season. These guys had 28 first downs on the day, so they were controlling the clock, keeping that high-powered London Knights offense off the field. And it just did a great overall job of keeping these guys giving themselves a chance to win. So Central Division, could really tighten up, and Tulsa could put themselves in the conversation with a win tonight. But my bet right now is on the Minnesota Legend, having a good finish to the season and possibly winning that division.
Mike, our chemistry is just amazing because now we have highlights of Minnesota and London from yesterday. 9:48 first quarter. These are the big plays we're talking about. What an amazing run after the catch by Fox High when he has really been a huge asset for them thanks to the departure of one Mike St. Green, and London took a 7-0 lead early.
And also, speaking of that, Cam, they didn't waste time giving my number away either. They gave him number 15. They didn't miss me too much over there in London, and I see why. Fox High went with a great catch and, nice, little juke right there and a little hop step, and got him on the way to a nice 65-yard touchdown and got London on the board early.
The big playability for London was not done. Here they are on their own half-yard line, and Robert Merrill with 2 spins is out of there, untouched, 99.5 yards. And this was the NXT Saturday Showcase game yesterday. And, Mike, you and I were sitting here thinking, this is a wrap. I mean, they can't stop anybody.
Yeah, and we really thought this game was going to be a blowout for London at this point. That was 2 plays, 2 touchdowns, 2 long touchdowns. And, man, Robert Merrill, he's had a fantastic season. He's really on pace for some all-time numbers if he can just pick it up a little bit. But he's been fantastic so far.
Here's another guy that's been having a phenomenal season. Cody Griffin picks one out of traffic, takes it pick 6 to the house, and Minnesota, just like that, was back in this game. Cody Griffin now leads the SFL with 8 interceptions through the first 5 games.
Yeah, we saw 2 great defensive performances in this game, but Cody Griffin right here is pretty much single-handedly kept the Legend in this game with a nice pick and takes it all the way back to the house, outrunning the offensive line right there to get Minnesota within 7.
London will respond late in the third quarter. Long drive here for London ends in a Robert Merrill touchdown. That penalty would be declined. Minnesota just unable to harness that momentum in that third quarter off of that pick 6, but they would respond. Johnny Rena would put together a nice-looking drive. Here's Adam Banks in one-on-one coverage down the field to get Minnesota into the red zone. And then one play later, it was the Legend giving the ball off to Colin Hart in the heavy set against the stacked box with under 8 to go. And bam, he's off to the races down to the 4, gets a 1st and goal. And this, the 11th play of that Minnesota Legend drive. They finally were able to punch it in on offense, Mike. We had a ball game.
Yeah, Colin Hart doing what he typically has done all of his career, get inside the red zone and get a bunch of tough yards, and he finally punches it in for Minnesota to get within 7 again.
3rd and 14. This was the play of the game because Johnny Pickler hits Vin Callia on a one-on-one ball over Cody Griffin. And that was the name of the game on this last drive for London. Minnesota just could not get him off the field. And the London Knights end up taking the win 24-14. Mike, they are a perfect 6-0. And as we were talking about, Minnesota falls to 3-2 in the Central. Here's another example of not being able to get off the field. Calia wide open. And that was all she wrote. San Diego and Denver in the nightcap. And both offenses got off to a slow start. San Diego started to pick it up late in the first. Scar Patterson over to Gunnar Lewis. And then the bomb to Liam Hammer gave the Mavericks the lead.
Yeah, that's what the San Diego Mavericks are known for. Scar Patterson finding his weapons deep and getting big touchdowns, and he find Liam Hammer wide open across the middle there for the 7-3 lead.
But San Diego needed more of their offense, but their offense never seemed to be on the field. Instead, it was Denver's offense and Bryce Battle that was all over the stat sheet. San Diego's defense would hold on that series and end up forcing a field goal, so they would still lead 7-6, but not much offense for San Diego in the second. R.E. Mills gets the touchdown for Denver. They took the lead and took control on that drive.
Yeah, R.E. Mills, the veteran fullback, with a nice little run to get Denver the lead.
Eric Price leading the offense down the field again, but a nice grab by the linebacker in coverage. Pete Mitchell over Logan Keel making the play, and San Diego's defense played pretty well in this game too. This was one of these defensive battles we've seen a lot more in the SFL, it feels like, this season, Mike, but too much Denver offense. I mean, San Diego just never had an opportunity to get into a rhythm offensively. Jeremy Mosley with the first down there. You can see the stats on the screen. Denver, nearly 400 yards of total offense in this game, actually led the league in yards per game on offense. And Bailey O'Shaughnessy does the rest. They put San Diego in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, nice run by Bailey O'Shaughnessy. But as you mentioned, San Diego, they had a hard time staying on the field in this game. Only 8 first downs for them all game long. And the offense struggled, but defense played well. But as we see right here, another great play by the Denver defense to stop another San Diego drive.
Nick Kindler with that swat away. And the San Diego offense was really held in check. They folded 2-3. Denver gets to 2-3. Both of those teams are chasing Arizona, who's at 3-2, who's chasing Vegas, who's at 4-1. And Mike, through the first 6 weeks, as we're almost done with week number 6, we've seen 6 teams emerge. You got Baltimore and London at 6-0, and then you've got Mexico City and Houston in the South at 4-1, and then you've got Las Vegas, the surprise, out west, and then you got the DC Dragons, who beat Vancouver without Kevin Say. Those are your top 6 teams right now in the SFL.
Yeah, the top 6, and they pretty much set themselves apart from the rest of the league right now. Just as far as record-wise, it's still early. Anybody can come back and put themselves in the race, but a lot of these teams, just as far as the way that they look on the field when you watch them and see these guys play, they seem to be playing at an elevated level here to start this first half of the season.
Monitoring action all around the league tonight, including Tulsa and Queen City. There's 2 minutes to go in that first half, and it's still 7-3. Tulsa leading Queen City. Another defensive slugfest. What's going on with the defenses in the league? It's particularly this week, Mike. It's all the rage around the SFL community.
And I tell you one thing, Cam, is one thing I've been thinking about, and this is going to be our 6th season going into SFLM. I think it's the coaches that have gotten some experience down there in the first 5 seasons, and they brought that experience up here to the major leagues, and I think it's starting to show itself a little bit. These guys have been in the proving grounds down there in the minors and proved themselves worthy, and I think it's manifesting itself up here in the majors.
Defensive battle so far tonight in Seattle as well. Portland 14, Seattle 3. Chris Curtis, Charles Doherty have your second half when we come back. This has been the APM Music Halftime Report, and Mike and I will be back here in postgame to wrap things up and preview the next level slate for Week 7 when SFL action continues.
Second half underway, getting back to you a little bit late, but it looks like Zachary Patton started off the party with a return to the 26-yard line. It is 14-3 Portland at the start of this second half, and an important possession, Charles Doherty, for the Seattle Nemesis to try to get some points on the board, get themselves back in this contest.
Yeah, Seattle the offense showed a little spark of life here late in the first half. Let's see if they can ride that into the second half.
Offset I formation. First play from scrimmage is going to be a 5-yard pass to the right, and that'll get Seattle going at least a little bit there as they get a short gain to Tita Queen.
One thing that stood out in the first half for me was how great the quarterback play was for Cyrus Jive on Portland, but also both of these defenses are keeping the running backs in check.
Yeah, Ezekiel Love gets out a little bit, but yeah, for the most part, they've kept him off the scoreboard other than the one short touchdown that he had earlier. This will be a run, and not much to that one as Jalen Wells gets taken down. It'll be third down immediately, and a very important third down on offense for Seattle.
Yeah, they gotta make that spark a little bit bigger, and if they wind up punting here, then it's one step farther away from their goal.
Got to get something to work with. They can work with on here. Chance, left side. That one is tipped and incomplete. Should have been picked off, but that is no go for the Seattle offense. It'll be a quick 3 and out, and that is not what the doctor ordered.
Definitely not what Derek Majors just elevated to bat that ball down, the cornerback for Portland, but that was definitely not what Seattle needed. They walk away empty-handed on this drive, and now they're giving it back to Portland with a red-hot quarterback.
Lilac Butte on the punt. That last pass continued the theme of Trellis Blanton just not airing the ball out. If he had more air into that pass, that receiver was probably 5 yards away from Majors.
Yeah, agreed.
This will be a return back to the 35. Spin move, and he's got some room to work. Wow. He fights his way back to midfield. What a run back for Leo Morris. Extra effort paying dividends as he gets close to Seattle territory.
Extra effort up the middle there. Let's see here. The blocking was
one broken tackle.
Wasn't great. Just enough for him to bounce outside, go up the middle. Got a couple hits, hung in there, got a great field position for his offense.
That's fantastic work, and that sets up the Portland offense as if they needed any help the way they've been playing. Yeah, that sets them up very well on this first drive of the second half. Single back. Looking like a possible run play here. And it will be. Give Love a chance to the outside, but the Seattle defensive rush too strong. They'll get him a loss of 5 for his birthday there, and it'll be a second and 15.
Catherine Horrell was in that backfield. It almost looked like before the snap. She was there right when the ball went into Love's hand and just shut it down.
Actually gave him more forward progress than I thought, so we only lost 2. Either way, 2nd and 12 coming up. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. In the gun. Chance over the top. That one's caught, and that'll be about a 7-yard gain. Make it 3rd and 4 coming. As it'll be at least a 3rd and short. They make it much more manageable, so that's important for Portland.
Much more manageable, and I'm not going to say anything, Curtis, because I don't want to stop the streak.
I think you just said enough right there. We'll see. Single back. 5 on the defensive line as they look to send some extra help. This will be a run play for Love. He's got some room to go. Broken tackle, but he gets taken down by the second effort. And he'll get to the 34-yard line. 33 is what they'll give him. 1st and 10, Portland.
And that was a gutsy run on 3rd down, but great blocking by the look at that tight end, number 88, going out there and just setting up a nice route for the running back to get a great gain. Again, gutsy on 3rd down. Everybody was expecting a pass.
It's not all about Ezekiel Love. It's about that blocking game as well. Brady Clark came up to make that stop. He got the stop on him. 1st and 10. 3 to the right, 1 to the backfield. Looking to throw it. Goes to the flat. Trying to get past the defender. Not going to happen. Love is taken out at the line of scrimmage. They'll give him a yard generously. 2nd and 9.
I put a little extra love in that hit to Ezekiel Love, but he bounced right back up. I mean, that was a pretty strong hit by Seattle.
Three in the backfield. Hand off Love once more. They really like getting him involved. A spin move and an immediate flat pancake type tackle just past the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure how Love held onto that football. He did, though. It'll be third down.
He jumped up and put his fist in the air, but I guarantee you he saw 45 players out there.
There are 45 birds flying above his head, one of the two.
Yeah.
In the gun, Cyrus Jive. He's got Love to his right. Looking to throw it. He's got one over the top. It's a catch and a first down. More offensive work from Cyrus Jive. He is in fuego and has been all day long.
Yeah, he is in fuego, and I said it at the beginning of the game. They have to do something to put some fingerprints on Cyrus Jive to upset, to throw the rookie out of his cadence, because he's slicing and dicing all night.
He's got a 141 KBR right now, and right now is perfect through the air. Run to the right for Ezekiel Love. When you have a nice balance between run and pass, aka handing it off to this guy, it does wonders for your ability to complete passes. He gets a few more yards here.
Yeah, Jive has got a lot of options on his offense. I mean, he's got Ezekiel Love, but he also has that 6'6" tight end that has been grabbing everything, Nelson Lozano, grabbing everything that's thrown to him.
Chance for Portland to really put a foothold in this game. Clutch red zone trip, and this time Jive is taken down. That's a sack. Defensive line gets home, and it'll be a 3rd and long.
Yeah, Greg Ward got in there, defensive tackle for Seattle, and did what we've been talking about, what needed to be done all day, all night, and put some fingerprints on the quarterback. And let's see if he can stay on rhythm.
He's in the gun here, 3rd and long. Got to get it to the 7-yard line for a first down, make it 1st and goal. See if they can do it. He has the football, airs it out over the middle. That one's caught. 1st and goal again. He's 16 for 16 through the air. Is Cyrus Jive. He finds Israel Adams.
Yeah, Israel Adams caught that, and right in the middle of the traffic. The ball was put, the only place he could catch it. But very impressive of Cyrus Jive after that sack, just getting right back up there, standing in the pocket, and able to pinpoint that pass where he needed to.
Heavy set. Jive throws back in the end zone. That's a touchdown. 2 feet in. He only needed 1. That is a perfectly thrown ball. And it's Dakota Sue, the backup tight end, who puts that one down.
Yeah, Cyrus Jive had several options on that play. It looked like he went for the more difficult one to the tight end in Dakota Sue. He had a wide receiver wide open at the top of the screen.
Extra point happening, but it's a 20-3 game. This is a crazy amount of consecutive completions for Cyrus Jive to complete it. Up and good on the extra point, and that gets it to a 21-3 score line. Seattle gets the ball back, tries to get their way back into this game. When we come back to the Pacific Northwest, you stay right there. Back inside Darkwood Stadium as Seattle's going to receive this ball after letting up a pretty good drive, Charles, to the Portland offense. This will be returned fairly quickly from Patton. He's going to get out to the 20, and he always looks like he's going to break one, but not quite on this one. He's going to get to the 25 and no further.
So here we go, gut check time for Seattle. They got to put some points on the board. I can officially say that they are in a hole.
Yeah. This comes off the heels of a 10-play, 50-yard drive that ended in the passing touchdown to Dakota Sue, the backup tight end. And it gives the Nemesis a chance. They got to score. I think there's little doubt about that at this point. They need points. This will be a chance from Blanton over the top. That one is incomplete. As that one hits the ground, David Gears, the intended target.
Yeah, that was in the 50-50 basket right there, and both wide receiver and defender fought for it, and it hit the ground.
So a second down coming, 2nd and 10. For Seattle, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Going to try to get something going and get themselves a shorter field for 3rd down at the very least. That is a run through the middle. Not much doing. It'll be a 3-yard run, and we take a quick trip back to SFL HQ. Cameron Irvine, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Curtis. Mike St. Green, Douglas Brown, running wild.
Yeah, Douglas Brown, he hasn't had a great sophomore season so far, but a big touchdown run here in the 3rd quarter put Tulsa ahead 14-6.
Trying to pull away from Queen City. Their free safety, Greg Gaines, is now hurt and out of the ball game. Back to Curtis and Charles.
And a big play down the right side. Thank you, Cam. This one is a touchdown for Seattle. On 3rd down, it's Tita Queen with a long bomb catch over the right side, and Seattle's right back in this football game.
That is the answer that we've been asking for. They are officially got 1 foot out of the hole on that play. Unbelievable. It looked like I thought that the quarterback, Charles Blant, was going to get brought down by the defense on it for a sack, but just stood in there strong and hit a freaking bomb down the field. It was awesome.
Yeah, very, very good work. 74 yards through the air to Tita Queen. Wow, crazy, crazy timing on that. Just coming out of a game break, and all of a sudden Seattle has points on the board. They just needed us to stop talking, Charles. That's all it was. As soon as we stopped talking, they hit a big play. This kick is up and on the way, and it is through. I'm pretty sure half of chat probably feels the same way, but here we are. We are good to go, and Portland going to get back this football, and now Seattle's defense needs to respond, Charles.
Definitely, and no complaints on the loft on that pass. That was perfect.
Exactly.
In stride, excuse me, T to Queen just caught that running in stride. It was a perfect pass.
Yeah, she's a perfect route runner when it comes to those long ones. She's hit those before. This is going to be a return for Leo Boris from his own 7. Out to the 20, to the 23-yard line. He's going to end up running the wrong way. Leo Morris in a real bad way. Forward progress, though, does put him up to the 26. Thank goodness for forward progress. That was trouble personified.
And thank goodness he held onto the ball too, because that would have been a huge turnaround.
Yeah, no kidding. You talk about a comeback trail. That would have been a good way to do that. 1st and 10, Portland. You're going to try to get something going on offense after that. They had a touchdown their last drive. They're looking to try to repeat that result. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. This will be that's a problem, and that down goes Cyrus Jive. He did not throw the ball away, so he keeps his consecutive completions intact, but Sean Parent didn't care about that. He put the quarterback in the dirt.
Yeah, great, looked like that was a club off the line for Parent to get to the quarterback. We've been saying all night that's what they needed it to, and the last couple series they've been putting a licking on Cyrus Jive.
I believe that's the 3rd time the defensive line has gotten home on Cyrus Jive today. But it has not taken away from the offensive accomplishments of that man, the rookie. Number 7, Cyrus Jive, unofficial record. Julian Tyree, 21 consecutive completions. He has another one here, and he's 3 away from that, as Jive gets him much closer this time to Gene Valentine.
And it says he's injured.
It does indeed. So Gene Valentine goes down in a heap. We'll see what happened here. If we can find out. And that was Israel Adams on the catch. We'll get an update on Gene Valentine here fairly shortly, we believe. But that takes their main target on offense in the receiving game out of this football game. And now they have to go lean on Ezekiel Love in a short yardage situation. Ezekiel Love is taken down at the line of scrimmage. Seattle stands up defensively, gets the stop they need, and a punt coming.
David Harrell just shut her down. Did what they needed to do. Great stop. The momentum right now for Seattle, they are doing. We challenged them, and on both sides of the ball, they answered.
So it's only an 11-point game, and now they have a chance to get it back to within a one-possession scoreline. Punt coming. Kick is up and on the way. It's Zachary Patton back deep for the return on the punt. Has a little bit of room to work, but he is taken down on a quick pursuit at about the 30-yard line. The 31 is what they'll give him. So Seattle, decent field position. They have a chance to work it downfield. The quick strike to Tita Queen has people thinking about what could be at the halfway point of this third quarter.
I mean, I think that play not only was huge from a scoring standpoint, but it also kind of dictated the coverage for Portland. They can't. I don't think they can go as tight as they've been. They got to look. They got to look for that deep pass.
That's over the middle. That one is caught in a shoestring tackle. Stop that from potentially going to the house. That is Paulie Truth, the tight end, first catch.
And that catch was the truth. Nice seam route down the middle. Trellis Blanton just did a laser. Well, kind of looked like a duck, but got it right where he needed to. Wasn't pretty. Did what he needed to do.
Would you say that duck found a quack in the defense?
It was a big quack.
A collective sigh amongst the SFL faithful in chat. Love it, love it, love it. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Chance for Trellis Blanton to work on offense inside Portland territory. Throw right side towards the sideline. That is a completion. Not much to it. Looks like a 5-yard grab out to Tita Queen once more.
All right, these last two series, we've seen a side of Trellis Blanton we hadn't seen all night. Spreading the ball around efficiently, standing in that pocket, and really challenging the defense of Portland.
Offset I formation. 1 to the right, 1 to the left. 4-3 look. Or actually a heavy look on defense, and that's going to be a quick takedown of Jalen Wells. Loses a couple of yards. The big defensive line gets where they need to be to put that one to rest.
They call him McSlim, the defensive tackle for Portland, but he doesn't look very McSlim to me.
No.
He burst through that line and just tore it up.
It was a supersized play, I can tell you that. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. 1 in the backfield. Blanton back, looking to throw to the outside. Got to turn the corner. Does! That's a first down. Great play for Seattle to get them into long field goal range at this point. They move the chains.
Paulie Truth, the tight end. Hashtag pass to the tight end. Mm-hmm. He's catching on fire at the right time of the game.
Perfect motion from him. Heavy set on offense, looking like a Wells run. They've thrown out of this formation before, though. We'll see what they do. This will be an outside run to Wells. Trying to turn the corner. Has the angle and the first down just outside the red zone. This is a methodical drive from the Seattle Nemesis.
Yeah, nice adjustment by the offensive coordinator of Seattle. That run, I think, was one of the best of the night for Seattle. Nice blocking. Perfect run route for Jalen Wells.
1st and 10 for Seattle. They're moving it really well. They're moving like a machine. This is the best they've looked all day. This is a 4-3 look from the defense. Handoff. Wells busts through the middle. Gets to the second level, but he's taken down after a quick 5-yard gain.
Yeah, what I love about this drive so far, Curtis, is that they're not they did that. They rolled the dice that one time on the previous series where they did the long pass, but now they've got the Portland defense guessing, and they're doing a lot of conservative plays, and they're getting positive gains.
Out of the heavy eye, that's a run, and Wells gets back to the line of scrimmage no further than that. 3rd and 5 coming. The SFL Network's coming to the ESTV Plus app. 24/7 SFL programming will include content created by the community, the SFL's greatest games from the archives, exclusive network content, and live SFL regular season games. Download the ESTV Plus app on your Android or iPhone or on your TV through Roku, Amazon Fire, Vizio, and more. The SFL Network, where SFL creators come together. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Blanton back to throw, puts one over the top. That one is incomplete. Nothing doing there. 4th down, and I would be of the thought to go for it here, but at least a field goal gets it back to an 8-point advantage.
Yeah, I would. I'd kick the field goal and cut it down to 8. Puts less pressure on the team, but you're more of a gambler than I am, my friend.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's America's favorite game. It's Plinko. Left hash from the 19-yard line. 36-yard attempt is up, and it is through with 0 issue there. That is Ronald Suey with another one through the uprights.
We have ourselves a ball game. They didn't get it in the end zone, but they cut it to 8, and they are in control of the momentum right now. Let's see how Cyrus Jive comes back out and see how he can answer it. The last series, they hit him up and down, and I think that's probably in the same game plan for Seattle.
One of my goals as a commentator is to at least be half as funny as you and a quarter as funny as Rick Northrup. That's kind of the thought process there. From the 7-yard line, that is going to be out to about the 26-yard line for Leo Morris, and Portland will start their drive there.
Again, come on, Cyrus Jive. Let's show us what you got. The rookie's been standing tall in there, but last couple drives, he's been rattled a bit, and let's see if he can shake that off and get some movement down the field.
Well, here we go. He's now 3 away from the unofficial record. We have to check back to the record books. That's just off of top of memory from our producer Cameron Irvine. This will be a run for Love first, though. Spin move, double spin move, first down and more. And that is Ezekiel Love doing what Ezekiel Love loves to do, and that is going to get us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Put your 4s, your 86s, and your 12s up. It's the end of the 3rd. 21-13 Portland. It's the SFL on Next Level Sports, presented by APM Music. Stay there. Start of the 4th quarter, Portland on a drive just shy of the 40 as they try to put some more points on the board, get some extra separation between them and Seattle. Chris Curtis, Charles Doherty in the broadcast booth, and that's Ezekiel Love getting another carry and getting dropped behind the line. And now we come across a 3rd and long for the Portland Fleet. Seattle with a chance to get off the field.
A nice hit, another nice hit tonight by outside linebacker David Harrell. I mean, all of the Harrells have really been balling it out tonight.
Apologies, second down. Definitely thought it said third. It's fine. Either way. Looking like a chance for Jive, trying to keep the record going, and he does. That's a completion, and then out of bounds. Gene Valentine out the rest of the day for sure. That's unfortunate for Portland. Takes away one of Jive's weapons, but he has plenty more.
Yeah, that was a close one. I didn't think he was going to hit the wide receiver, but here we go. The streak is alive.
It is indeed. That's number 19. Two to the left and one to the right. Hand off. Ezekiel Love doesn't get enough. And that is going to be fourth down. So Seattle gets the stop they want. Now it's time to see what Seattle can do on offense, try to get back in this football game. They've got it to one possession.
And hopefully the punter here, Dominique Birkin, will put him in good position for the defense to hold.
That is going to be returnable. A little bit in the way of room for Patton. And he'll get it to 1st and 10 at about the 29-yard line. Out comes Trellis Blanton. And Charles, a drive needed from Trellis Blanton and a little bit of leadership needed for this Seattle offense on this drive.
Yeah, he's shown some sparks here so far in the second half. He needs to ride that and take him to the end zone.
I formation. Handoff on a draw play. Nothing doing. As Jalen Wells taken down behind the line of scrimmage. That's a yard loss. Linebackers have been doing very well in run defense. As you see Negron there.
Yeah, the line as well. Negron there just was waiting for him and just dropped the lumber on him.
Laid the wood. And this will be another run. Wells to the outside, breaks a tackle or two, and makes it a little more manageable. 3rd and 7 coming up. And no imagination needed. This is the biggest third down of this game for Seattle's offense.
Yeah, I mean, they've shown some play routes that were successful, the out routes and that all slant. Let's see if they go to one of those.
Single back. Looking to throw over the top. That one's a first down. They get the chains moved just shy of the midfield stripe. And Tita Queen with another grab. She's had a pretty good day.
Yeah, very good day. And that was a huge catch, almost as big as the one she had for the touchdown. Keep that drive alive and threatening to put some points on the board.
First and 10. Seattle. Going to try to find a way to work here. Looking to throw it. Sling over the top. That one's caught right side. And that is going to be a touchdown to the house for Seattle. They score and get themselves to within 2 points.
The truth. The tight end catches that and takes it all the way in. Wide open on the route. I don't know what happened to the defense of Portland on that play, but you can't leave a tight end that wide open.
Wild is how this comeback is gone all of a sudden. It's been a complete flip of the script. We've seen this script before on a few different occasions in this league in this season. And Seattle looking to put the finishing touches on getting this to within a point. They might try for 2 here. It makes sense. And it looks like they will. 3 in the backfield. A heavy set. They're going to hand it off. That's not going to work. 2-point conversion fails, and they keep it at a 21-19 scoreline.
Yeah, the hats off to the defense there for bringing it down in the backfield. But there's plenty of time to either tie the game or go ahead here. So I mean, I don't think that was too risky a decision on their part.
Okay, so Portland now is all the pressure's on them. Cyrus Jive can have all the perfect completion streaks he wants. However, now his team's only up 2 points. Now is the time to put some separation up. There's a chance for Leo Morris on the return. He's going to break one and get taken down at about the 30-yard line. So the rookie Cyrus Jive, with all the pressure on him on the road in a hostile environment just one state away.
I mean, he's shown the ability to handle the pressure, but it's kind of turned up a little bit here late or midway through the fourth quarter. You don't make a mistake. Just if you don't see it, live for another day.
Our formation on first down. This is definite Ezekiel Love territory, but Jive will throw to the outside. That is completion number 20 in a row, and it gets them 7 yards.
That's smart route run, smart play call there. You don't want to. We forget that that's a rookie standing back there. So asking him to bomb it down the field all night may not be the best idea. And routes like that, add to the confidence of that rookie quarterback.
They've also had plenty of sustained drives throughout the night as well. Methodical drives, 10 double-digit play drives on a couple of occasions. So they've been pretty good at those. This will be Ezekiel Love just getting back to the line of scrimmage. No further. Another key third down, really, for Seattle's defense. If they can get off the field on this play, this is going to put this crowd into a frenzy.
Both of these defenses aren't letting either offense get anything going in the running game. Hats off. Both their game plans very solid in shutting down the run.
Weak side eye. This is going to be a first down, and Ezekiel Love has a spin. Broken tackle down the sideline. Ezekiel Love, he's going to get taken down finally at the 23-yard line. What a run and a crazy amount of individual effort from that man.
Well, insert announcer's curse on that one. That was a great run on the outside. They set the edge. The blocker set the edge well for the running back, and huge run there. And I think that's the answer. You don't want to risk it. Jive. Making too many risky plays out there. Hand it off to the veteran and get some movement on the ground and shut this down.
2 to the right, 1 to the left. 2 in the backfield. Handoff. Ezekiel Love has to go backwards to go forwards, but he doesn't go forwards in time. That's going to be a loss of 2. Make it 2nd and 12.
Yeah, and he quietly got up to, 98 yards? It looked like that popped up. So he's close to getting 100 here. And I think, again, it's smart to keep feeding it to him. I know they got to pass it on this down, but if they make the first, don't forget your running back.
Now they have a long way to go to get the first down. 2nd and 13. This will be over the middle. That one's caught. Number 21 in a row gets them a first down. It's 1st and 10. They can still get a first at the 1.
Yeah, Israel Adams, great hands. Caught it in the crowd on the slant route, and the whole defense, hit him to congratulate him after he caught that one. But the wide receiver core of Portland is really stepping up when one of their own went down on an injury. Gene Valentine's out. Everybody else is doing what they need to do to keep them in this game.
Israel Adams has been the main target there. This looks like a weak eye. Ezekiel Love is in the back. They've run out of this formation before. And they will here as well. To the outside. Trying to turn the corner. Not going to happen. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. Cyrus Jive's next throw is for what we believe to be the consecutive passes completed record.
It looked like that was going to be a big gain. Good block set on the edge, but Daniel Valentine read it perfectly. The cornerback just ran in there and shut it down. Nice open field tackle against a very good halfback.
Dive to the back. That is a completed pass, and that gives him the record, or so we believe, 22 passes in a row to start a game completed as he gets one to the backup halfback. Love is out due to fatigue.
That's absolutely insane. 22 for 22. Deep into the fourth quarter and not one incomplete pass. That's just amazing.
Unreal effort from the rookie. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. In the gun. He's looking for 23 in a row. This could be a touchdown to do it. Everybody's in the end zone. Plenty of time. Throws. End zone. Got it. Touchdown. 23 in a row. And he gives some separation to his team in a very tight game. It's Israel Adams.
That's just phenomenal. I am so fortunate to be able to watch this game. I mean, this rookie is just making a name for himself. That is the game of games. 23 for 23, 3 touchdowns. Perfect.
You want to call out Portland for being winless, that's fine. And maybe it's fair. They are winless right now. They may get their first win tonight. Who knows? But when you look at what Cyrus Jive has been able to do tonight, and what the receiving core has been able to do with their top weapon out, future looks bright in Portland.
No, I think they all know that he was going for a record, and they just, they stepped up. Everybody on the offense side, coupled with that injury to Gene Valentine, and they wanted to give their rookie this completion record.
Crazy. Everyone was in coverage for Seattle on that. They knew they were throwing that football, and it did not matter.
It seemed like the play went in slow motion when he was standing there in the pocket.
Seems like the game's moving in slow motion for Cyrus Jive right now. Brady Clark in chat, the defensive coordinator for Seattle, said they had 4 coverage out there. And that's exactly what it was. That's going to be out to the 27-yard line, as that is 1st and 10 for Seattle. Now Seattle's in a very similar situation. It is a 9-point game now. So that puts them behind the 8 ball a little bit as we get to the better than the halfway point through this 4th quarter of play.
Yeah, I'm not going to make any predictions here because this game is insane. Travis Blanton has been. We told him he needed to find a spark, and right now he's got a flame in his hands.
Well, he's got to find something here because while he's found a spark, Cyrus Jive's been in fuego all game long.
That's right.
2 to the right, 1 to the left. Blanton, sidearm throw over the middle. That sling is perfect, and that might be I'm not sure if it's a late hit or a face mask. Either way, that looks like it's going to add some extra yards onto this play.
Yeah, right into the mosh pit. Perfect pass, and wide receiver paid for it.
So it is indeed going to be a late hit. That's going to add on some yards and put Seattle in a good spot.
Yeah, it looked like number 25, Derek Majors, was the culprit here. He just went airborne and hit him right after he caught the ball.
1st and 10 for Seattle. They're into Portland territory. Seattle needs a touchdown here to keep pace. Then they need a defensive stop, which good luck against Jive right now. 5 wide for Blanton. Got to find it. 3-step drop, throws high over the middle. That one is caught, found a seam, and they're at the 25-yard line. It's David Gears.
Yeah, it looked like they might have dropped that. They ran the 50XA post, and Chris Scotch there was just knocked it down. It looked like a completion, but
you're right.
Scotch knocked it down right at the last second.
Got it. Looked like it was caught, and the way the animation looked from the player as well. It looked like it was for sure, but not quite. That is a Chris Stack play on defense to knock that one aside. So that will slow down this crowd, slow down the offense a little bit, and maybe slow down the thought process of Seattle, who were trying to punch above their weight class, I think, from a speed or game speed perspective. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Blanton has a short throw. At least makes it happen short. That'll make a 3rd and manageable. Now they run the no huddle to keep the formation. Has the football, looks to throw it to the outside. That one's caught, 1st down and more, and tries to stay in bounds, but ends up getting knocked out of bounds, and that's a good thing as the clock stops. Not real worried about the clock yet with the time left, but either way, it's 1st down.
Yeah, smart play call, the tight end seam. It looked like every wide receiver had at least a step on the defense on that one, so there were plenty of options for Blanton.
Game update coming up after this play. We'll see if we can avoid doing what we did last time. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Jalen Wells in the backfield, looking to throw over the top. That one is incomplete. Back to you, FLHQ, for that game update.
Thanks, Curtis. Seattle saying probably, oh no, go to a game update. We want another touchdown. Tulsa holding Queen City with the interception.
Yeah, Queen City trying to drive late to win this game, and the veteran Nate Haslet comes away with their interception to thwart any Queen City comeback.
Queen City now burning timeout, 17-12. Back to Seattle with Curtis and Chuck.
And this will be Blanton over the middle. That is another one that's very short of the 1st down marker, but it is a completion. 3rd and inches, big 3rd down. Got to get this going, and that is a 1st down. They'll get it. They're within the 10-yard line, 1st and goal.
I think it's smart that they're going to hurry up here, Curtis. It looks like they've got a mismatch on the defense.
They do. They had some people on the wrong side of the line of scrimmage that were taking their time. Looking to throw it. Throws short. Got it. Did he get in? He did not. He's at the goal line.
Yeah, barely short.
Very close here. Gonna try to get it. Another one. Finds the seam. That one's caught. Back in the end zone.
Wow.
Seattle scores. And they get it back to within a couple of points.
Curtis, we have two red-hot quarterbacks in this game. Unbelievable. Blanton did he responded to the call and drove the team all the way down the field. Great passing, great play calling, and we're looking at a game here, my friend.
We are indeed going to get it back to a 2-point advantage with the extra point, should that happen. And then Seattle's got to lean on their defense, if Cyrus Jive lets them anyway. It's his world. We're just living in it right now. Extra point up and extra point good from Ronald Suey. Christian Ronald Suey adds the point, and we are within 2. Seattle trying to catch up to Portland at home in front of their home crowd. All right. No onside kick just yet. 28-26. It's been a fun one. We thought we might see a fun one. 2 0-4 teams looking for their first win of the season. Seattle of their franchise. From the 7. Out to the 30. Taken down hard. And about the 29-yard line is Leo Morris. Now Portland has a steady diet of Ezekiel Love to feed the pigskin, and they'll see what he can do with it.
Yeah, is Ezekiel Love on the ground or screen passes until you get to a third down? I mean, I would got to keep that clock rolling.
Cyrus Jive, he's 23 for 23 today. Handoff, Love, through the hole, taken down on the stretch. Not going to happen. 2nd and 10.
Again, let's stay conservative. I wouldn't try and push it down the field. You do not. The worst thing that could possibly happen is give the ball back to Seattle with time on the clock.
I have a feeling that they're probably going to have some time if the runs end up like that. Another heavy set, looking like another run. Seattle pinching some up at the line as well to try and send some extra help at Ezekiel Love. Portland going to take some time off that clock to the right side. Trying to break a tackle. He's going to get taken down. A clubbing blow after a 3-yard gain. Makes it 3rd and not quite medium.
Yeah, KT Harrell, the inside linebacker. I thought that was going to be a huge run, but said not in my house. It just ended that run.
Seattle trying to complete this comeback. They need a defensive stop to give themselves a shot. Another heavy set with 3 to the right. Looking to throw it to the right side. That one's caught, but he stepped out of bounds. Out of bounds, and it's 4th down. Oh, man, that sets up Seattle with a good opportunity.
Yeah, plenty of time here. Dominique Birkin again, my friend. You have to pin him deep.
They ruled it an incomplete pass as well. So either way, it's 4th down, and that is going to set up Seattle with a real good opportunity with decent field position, it would seem, as the punter's lined up back at his own 17. Takes it from his own 20. Goes over the midfield logo. Fair catch called for at about the 32. So a decent-sized punt will get this drive started for Trellis Blanton and company with time on the clock from their own 32. They are only 2 points away. A field goal gives them the lead. Both teams have all 3 timeouts.
And the longest field goal of the season is 42 yards for Ronald Suey. So just keep that in mind as they get closer.
Got to get it to the 25 to go for a 42-yarder. Looking to throw left side. That one is caught down the field as well. They will say he stepped out of bounds, and it looks like he stepped out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, he clearly had at least 5 to maybe 8 yards after that. That was a tough. Didn't get the ball early enough for him to be able to adjust his body and turn upfield.
Only a 40% receiving rate for Zachary Patton on 10 targets. He's got 4 catches. They definitely wanted to get him more involved, but no better time than the present if they can get him in the open field. Single back for Blanton. Tight end to the right. That's a pitch play. Left side, that's not going to work. That goes nowhere. and that is going to be 3rd and long coming up here for Seattle.
Yeah, you need to call an audible here and
and that'll get us to the last 2 minutes of this ball game. It's been a good one this second half. 28-26 Portland, but Seattle has the ball when we come back to the Pacific Northwest. Stay there.
Game break, Tulsa, Queen City. The Tulsa Desperados shut the door, Mike.
Yeah, Cam Douglas Brown, he caps the Tulsa win, and a great day for himself. 127 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns, as we see right here. And he closes it out for Tulsa. They win it 24-12.
So Central's getting tight. The conclusion of Portland-Seattle with Curtis and Charles coming up right now.
All right, back to it. Seattle in the throes of a needed drive, but a big 3rd down to the outside. Got to move it upfield. They can't. And 4th down coming. This is going to be a have to go for a situation if you are Seattle. 4-down territory.
Yeah, definitely. And it was kind of head scratcher on that play. I mean, thought maybe they were going to try and go a little bit deeper in the route running.
All right, so that creates a 4th down scenario that could give Portland back the football, which could really stall this comeback attempt. Blanton is in the gun by himself. He's got 5 wide. They need 3 to at least get the chains moved, which should be the priority right now. They've got time to do everything else after. Looking to throw it. Pump fake. Thrown over the middle. That one's tipped, and it's incomplete. Oh, what a play by the Portland defense to get that done, and that is going to be fleet ball in Seattle territory.
Yeah, that was the defense of Portland. Just they were waiting there in the middle, and that slant route had no chance.
Bernard Smith, the free safety, comes up to make the play that was needed, and now it's 1st and 10. Keep in mind, Seattle does have 3 timeouts, so there's still time. They just need to stop Ezekiel Love like they have for most, I say not all, but most of the night. To the outside. Love, spin move, taken down. And that is the second timeout taken by Seattle. They're down to 1.
Yeah, that's not the type of run they want. They gotta pin him in the backfield or pin him in the line. I mean, 2nd and 3 is a really precarious situation for the defense.
So even if Portland does not get this 2nd down and Seattle takes the timeout and if Portland fails the 3rd down, they can take as much time as they want for the most part to get the 4th down punt done. This is to the outside. That's a takedown. Another timeout taken by Seattle. That is their last one. So not a lot of options left for Seattle here. They are at the mercy of the pace of play of Portland's offense.
They do not run a play that's going to stop the clock.
Yeah. They could surprise us. They could throw it, but they've run out of this formation just about every time they put it on the field tonight. And they will here as well. That is going to be a takedown. And just like we thought, they're going to burn as much time as possible. The punt should leave the punt should leave the fleet with less than a minute to get things done after this punt takes place.
Yeah, we've seen it happen before. I mean, this game is far from over, so hold on tight, my friend.
Yep, this could be a fun one. You and I have seen weirder things in this league, no doubt. They'll take their time. Back deep. Oh, it nearly got blocked as well. That would have been a game changer for sure. It's going to bounce at the 2, and it stopped at the 3-yard line. Not ideal for Seattle, but now they need to go 90. Well, they need to go at least a few more yards to get into field goal range. They probably need a good, 60 yards from this spot?
Yeah, definitely. Great punt by Dominic Birkin.
Needed that. Now it comes to a scenario where they need to work the out-of-bounds angles, the quick outs, the flats, put people in the open field if they can. You throw the run game out the window right now. Looking to throw it. Right side. That one's caught. Not able to get out of bounds. They need to run the no-huddle. It's second and 2, but that doesn't matter much.
Yeah, that play's not going to do it. They need to get the ball out of bounds and switch that play out.
The outside. This one's going to go. No, they keep the clock running. They didn't stop him out of bounds.
Yeah,
got to get it done.
Yeah, the routes are way too short unless somebody makes a mistake on defense.
Trying to pull them off sides for some reason. They'll clock it there. That took them way too long to clock that football.
Definitely.
23 seconds left on this clock, and they still have probably a good 50 yards to go before they can trot out the field goal kicker.
Woo! Yeah. Let's see what they line up with. Hopefully it's a 4 wide, 5 wide, something where they're going deep.
And this is right now a weak eye formation. Looking to throw it to the outside. That one's out of bounds. That's at least better. Took 4 seconds off the clock. They still have some work to do to Cheetah Queen.
And they've got a long way to go in 19, and that play calling's not going to do it. Again,
coming up on the APM Music post-game update. Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green wrap up this clash between the Fleet and the Nemesis, plus first reaction to Queen City, Tulsa, and they preview next weekend's Next Level Sports matchups, Florida and Atlanta, and Denver Lone Star. It's all coming up on the post-game update in just 19 seconds game time. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. They got to figure it out right now. Looking to throw to the outside. They're going to put it in the hands of Jalen Wells, and he's stopped short of the marker and short of the out of bounds. It is 4th down. They have to make a play happen here. They cannot clock it. Taking way too much time. This is going to be too much time. No way. Over the middle, that's incomplete, but it does not matter. They have a couple seconds left, and that's not enough time to get it done.
Yeah, and they switched possessions, and looks like we've got the ball game over on that last play.
Oh, did they? Is that in? Oh, that was
down.
incomplete. You're right. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's going to do it. Yeah, Portland's going to make the defensive plays necessary, but not good clock management. If you are Seattle, and they pay for it with that not giving themselves an opportunity to potentially win this ballgame.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. They didn't set themselves up from the beginning with that with the play calling, and got stuck in that one play with the short routes, and they really paid for it.
And that'll do it. So the Fleet and the Nemesis come up short at home. They're still searching for their first win, but Portland wins 28-26 over Seattle to get their first win of the season. Charles Darkety.
Yeah, I'm not sure who to pick as player of the game. Just kidding. I mean, that's an easy one. Cyrus Jive all the way. Great game. I mean, 23 of 24. and you 3 touchdowns, 151 QBR, 262 yards. Just one of the best quarterback performances I've seen, and it was with a rookie, no less.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing to look at too. The rookie Cyrus Jive comes through and throws 23 straight completions to start off this football game, which I believe is right now it's an unofficial record. We'll get more clarification on that later. Either way, you come into a hostile situation in Seattle, both teams looking for their first win, and Jive does that. The Portland deserved to win this game, and Seattle nearly took it out from underneath.
Definitely, and it's unfortunate because both teams. I mean, there were tons of highlights on both sides, both defenses. They had some really, really outstanding plays. They let some get away from them, but wow, I mean, Cyrus Jive was clearly at the top of the hill when it comes to playing the game and being the most valuable player.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to see him work. The only incompletion he threw today was on an out-of-bounds ruling. The receiver caught the ball, but they did not get the footwork in to save the streak, and that was on a third down play before a punt earlier. But he should be, and he is, the player of the game with a near-perfect QBR, Charles, and that was about as deserved as it gets.
And he looks tired in that picture, and justifiably so.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, for the stats crew, for Charles Doherty, for Cameron Irvine, and the rest of the SFL community, I am Chris Curtis saying goodbye and good night from Seattle. Quick break, and then it's off to post-game. SFL Studios on the other side. With the post-game wrap-up, it's Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green bringing it to you. From Seattle, good night. Thank you. Oh, you're completely fine, sir. I don't mind yelling at you, but yes. For a couple of 0-14, that was fantastic.
Yeah, that's all, guys.
Yeah, thanks guys on stats. Appreciate
Thanks
you.
for doing the stats.
Not a problem.
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks, Cameron.
Thanks for the fun.
Yep.
Welcome back to the studios for Sim Football postgame, and your final score, a 28-26 doozy here tonight between the Seattle Tyrants and the Portland Fleet. Dare I say it, Mike, an instant clap? No, I won't go that far, but it was a very, very entertaining game and a lot of fun to watch. What a performance by Cyrus Jive on national television. What a way to put yourself on the scene here tonight.
And Cam, we pretty much felt going in that we were going to see something, see a competitive game. I won't say we thought we were going to see something special, but I think we thought we were going to see a competitive game. Both of these teams had a week off to to get prepared for this game, and we saw that manifest itself several times this weekend with teams that had a week off, and they both came out prepared. And Cyrus Jive, had a record-setting game. Something that we rarely see in this league. Someone basically without a challenge. I think if they would have challenged that Cam, that ball was completed. He probably would have finished his game, with no incompletions. But at that particular time, they didn't really need to challenge other than preserving the perfect passer rating. But the other unique thing that we saw in this game was probably even more special than that for me was no turnovers from either team. That's true. A total rarity in this league. These two 0-4 teams have been struggling all season long, but to play the game that they played, to play it clean, both teams came in prepared and win, and it showed on the field and with the result of the game.
And my apologies, I said Seattle Tyrants, the old SFL team. Put one in the jar for me, the Seattle Nemesis, your current SFL team. There was a guy on YouTube earlier tonight that was saying, why are there so many picks in this league? You should have been watching this game. There were no turnovers. The two offenses kept it totally clean. And Mike, it's such a treat when we have a game like this where both offenses are just they're clicking. But the defenses are not playing bad football, right? It's just better offense, and it was still a very good game. And I just want to go back to that slants play in the end zone for Portland that ended up in the touchdown for Cyrus Jive. I mean, that throw is one of – everybody knows it in the SFL. If you don't complete that slants play in 3 seconds, you're in trouble. And it almost – 1 out of 100 is completed. And for it to not only be completed, but for it to be the touchdown – that ultimately sealed the game because Seattle went back down and scored again. So Portland needed it. It was just sensational. And Israel Adams stepping up for the injured Gene Valentine. I mean, the script wrote itself tonight for Cyrus Jive, Mike. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah, that play in particular was a fantastic play, basically to show the poise in the pocket to give himself time to find a receiver because on his first, second, third read, he couldn't find anyone. I pretty much thought the play was going to end up with a sack. The offensive line did their job holding up the defensive line, and he finally found an open receiver in the back of the end zone. But great play by Cyrus Jive. And as you just mentioned, Israel Adams had a fantastic game, a couple of touchdowns. T. DeQueen had a great breakout game for her, over 100 yards receiving, and both of the Horals back at the linebacker spot, 10-plus tackles each. I mean, just great performances on both sides of the ball, both teams, and that resulted in what we saw, a great close down-to-the-wire football game.
So, Mike, what can you take away from this game if you're Portland or Seattle? I mean, it's just tough. I mean, Portland has to feel pretty good that they're not winless anymore, but they almost blew it to an expansion team, Seattle, at the bottom of the standings. Seattle is now 0-5. For me, Mike, just the one takeaway that's on my mind, it's Seattle's second down offense. They've got to get second down is killing them. It's putting them in third and long situations. They're doing pretty good on first down, but then they're not getting themselves in third and short situations or at a third down at all. That would be my biggest takeaway for Seattle. But, how do you see this game for either of these teams after tonight?
I'll start on the Seattle side. I mean, they're still young. They're an expansion team. Obviously, that's not necessarily an excuse. We see Minnesota, they're off to a solid start. But, Seattle, they're a younger, less experienced ball team than Minnesota Legends are. But what we have seen from Seattle, we saw them play a very good first half against the defending champs a couple of weeks ago. And we seen them, like I said, the week off, they came back. They played very competitively in this game. They've been, giving up 40-plus points a game. So what they can take from this game is that, growing pains. That's what young expansion teams go through. As I mentioned earlier, that's what Portland did coming out. Their expansion year, they were 0-5 before they got their first win. Recently, we saw the San Diego Mavericks. They struggled, for most of the first season that they were in the league. So growing pains, but they can definitely take away from this that they're making strides towards the positive, and look forward to next week and seeing that they can finally get in that win column. Portland, on the other hand, hey, that we're on the board. The first one is always the toughest one, right? And I hate to say it, Portland is a little bit of an enigma for me. I've been expecting for these guys to break out for the past couple of seasons, but it has to start somewhere. So just take this win, try to build on it. I think they go to Carolina next week. Just try to build on this win. These guys are typically pretty good on offense. And they've just tightened up their defense somewhere along the line, like what we typically have seen from them. They've typically have been good with the turnover battle. But obviously we didn't see any turnovers tonight. But, we used to see in Portland turn turnovers into positive things offensively, and we hadn't seen a lot of that from them. If they can maybe, get in the plus side of the turnover battle, maybe some things can turn around for them.
Charleston is next for Portland, and if I was Portland, I'm thinking Ezekiel Love doesn't have to do it all anymore. I think we found our quarterback. That was a phenomenal performance from Cyrus Jive. Let's take a look quickly at what's coming up on Next Level Sports in Week 7.
The SFL is a new kind of league where viewers are the stars, where strategy reigns supreme.
In football, you don't want to create the edge, you want to set it right up off the bat.
And legends are made.
And Mexico City's gonna win!
This is where fantasy meets reality. Saturday, Florida versus Atlanta. Sunday, Denver versus Lone Star. Only on Next Level Sports.
4 teams, Mike, that have been to championships, won championships, but are a little bit down in the dumps so far outside of Atlanta at 3-2. 60 seconds, Mike, on these two matchups coming up on TV next week.
Yeah, that's the first thing that stood out to me, Cam. Pretty much 3 of those 4 teams are kind of struggling a little bit. In particular, Florida, man, they really took it on the nose from Mexico City last night, losing by 50, the largest defeat in that team's history. They have really struggled coming out of the gate. This season offensively, Ron Cochran, 18 interceptions to start the season. That's very unusual for him. And then Denver against Lone Star. Lone Star, made it to the championship game last season, and they're kind of struggling out of the gate. They're below 500, and Denver got some things turned around this week with a big victory last night against San Diego. Looking forward to both of them. Can Florida get off the snide? That's the main thing I'm going to be looking for against Atlanta, but that's going to be a tough task going up against the Swarm.
It was a great weekend here on Next Level Sports. For Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine, and we'll see you next Saturday. Final score, Portland beats Seattle in a great one, 28-26. Have a great night, everybody. Stay well.